Hello everyone, welcome to our channel Complete Devotion. In this session, we shall discuss about the chapter 3, Class 6 History of Past in the earliest cities. It starts with the Harappa. In Harappa, we have got various buildings which were constructed. They were having some story to tell. Harappa in present day, it is in Pakistan. So they are having good quality bricks, and these cities were developed about 4,700 years ago. These cities were divided into two or more parts. Those parts to the west are smaller, but they are higher, and the archaeologists describe this as a citadel. It means to say those are in a higher level, means important people are going to stay in that level. And to the east there was a larger but lower level, so they are called as the lower town. These walls are baked in the brick. These bricks were well made and they have lasted for thousands of years. And these bricks were in a interlocking pattern. These cities were also found in the Punjab. It is also in the Pakistan and in Gujarat. Some parts we can observe in Rajasthan, Haryana, in India. In some cities, for example, the Mohenjo-daro, it was built in a area where it was lined up with bricks, coated with plaster. There are some steps which are leading down to some two sides, and water was brought from a well, and they are drained out. And some people are used to dip in this tank for special occasions. Some cities like Mohenjo-daro, Harappa, they have elaborate storehouses. Here we have to consider some of the important cities in this map. One is Mohenjo-daro. I got the Harappa. I got the Lothal. You can observe here they are in which parts of our country comes under the near to the Pakistan, and we have got some in Gujarat near to the Rajasthan, and we have got in Haryana near to Haryana and Punjab. So some cities like this, they have got some storehouses also where they used to store the cereals. The houses were either one or two stories high, and bricks are arranged to build the walls in the Harappan cities. And their rooms are built around a courtyard or as a closed space. They are having smaller drains which are leading towards the bigger ones. The inspection holes were also provided at certain intervals. If you consider the Harappan city, it was a very busy place. There were people who planned the construction of special buildings in the city, and they are probably known as the rulers. So these rulers, they have sent the people to some distant lands, some distant places for getting the metals and precious stones what they want. And they have kept some of the valuable objects also with them, like gold and silver with themselves. And there are some scribes or people who know how to write with prepare the seals perhaps which are on the other materials. Some materials are not existing now, they did not survive. And besides this, there are men and women who are working as a craft persons. And there are many toys. One famous toy is terracotta toys, which were used by children for playing. A street in the Mohenjo-daro with some drain we can observe here. It shows how they have planned. And here we can see the seal what they have used in the Harappan. This is a seal they have used. This is called as a Harappan seal. And the signs on the top of this seal are part of the script. This indicates part of the script. And some scholars have tried to read these signs, but they don't know what exactly it means also. And some of the objects were used previously in the Harappan cities. They are found by the archaeologists. They are made of stones. So we can see here they are the stone weights. So these stone weights they are made of chert, this kind of stone. They are used to weigh some precious stones. These stones, some shell and metals, including copper and bronze, gold and silvers, they have been found by the archaeologists. Why they are using this copper and bronze? Copper and bronze were used to make some tools. They were making some tools, some weapons, some ornaments, and some vessels. For all these, we need some metals, so they were taking it from far places. So, as I said previously, the rulers were sending some people to bring these materials. So, we can see here there are some beads which are made of some materials. It is made of carnelian. It's a beautiful red stones what we have. So they are cut and shaped. They are polished, and finally a hole was bored inside it through that, so that they can wear it. There are some stone blades. There are some stone blades we can observe here. Also in this figure we can observe they are embroidered with some embroidery is done this in a cloth. So this garments, this kind of garments were also already present at that time, as we can see. And these seals, what we are discussing, so they are made of stone. So basically, it's kind of rectangular structure what they had, and usually some kind of animals were carved on them. Also, they made some beautiful pots with some designs over them. They were growing cotton in Meager, and this cotton was grown uh, for about 7,000 years ago. And these cloths were also attached to some silver vase and some objects which were found. And archaeologists also found some bowls which are made of terracotta. They were having some specialists. These are some specialist is a person who is trained for a particular kind of work. These specialists are trained for particular kind of work. So this person can do only one kind of work. For example, they may cut the stone, they may polish the beads, or carving the seals as such. If you consider the raw materials, what are these raw materials? Raw materials are basically the substances. They are found naturally. For example, the raw materials can be wood, or it can be a ore, ores of materials, ores of metals. So these are processed to produce some finished goods. For example, by using a cotton, which are produced by some farmers, they are using this cotton as a raw material for making the cloth. Similarly, they use some items like copper. tin, gold, and silvers, and some precious stones they bought from places to make the ornaments. They bought the copper from the present day Rajasthan. They bought the copper from present day Rajasthan, and also from Oman in the West Asia, and they were mixed with the copper to produce the bronze. So they are mixing this copper plus tin. So this is going to produce the bronze. This bronze basically they have been bought from present day Afghanistan and Iran, and gold also came all the way from Karnataka, and some precious stones in the present day Gujarat, Iran, and Afghanistan. You can observe here some toys, some modes of transport used by the Harappans. This tells about that the toy tells about what way of transportation they had. They were having some toy plow also. This toy plows tells us about how they did the agriculture. Many lived in the cities and others living some countryside. They were growing some crops. They reared the animals. The farmers and some herders they supplied the food to the craft persons. Harappans grew wheat, barley, pulses, peas, rice, sesame, and mustard. The earth for tunneling and soiling the plant seeds, they used a new tool called as the plow. Probably it is made of wood and they have not survived to get a pick. So the water was stored and supplied to the fields when the plants were going. The Harappans reared the cattle, sheep, and goat and the buffalo. They reared cattle, sheep, goat, buffalo. In the dry summer, there are large herds of animals. They are probably taken for a certain distances in search of water and food. They collected fruits, they caught fish, they hunted the animals for their part of the food. We have got a city of Dolavira where we can observe the freshwater and fertile soil. Dolavira was divided into three parts and they are surrounded with massive stone walls. It with the entrances through the gateways. There are public ceremonies could be held over here. Large letters of Harappan scripts are carved out. Harappan writing was being found on small objects such as seals. This kind of huge tank may have been a dark yard. Some ships and boats came in through the sea and through the river channels. Probably they were used to unload the goods here. A building that was found here was probably a workshop for making the beads. Also, if you consider the seals, so after using some bags or stamp bags, after that bag is closed or tied, a layer of clay was applied on this knot and a seal was pressed on it. So a sealing was inact. One could be sure that the goods had arrived safely. Also, we can see in Egypt there was a dry desert. Around 5000 years ago, the kings ruled over Egypt. The kings sent some armies at the distant islands to get the gold, silver, ivory, and and other stones. The pyramids, as we know, the structure of the pyramids, some bodies of kings were preserved in this. Also, if we carefully, if we observe here, uh, the archaeologists have seen many mummies, a number of objects along with that. They were also burying the food, drinks, clothes, and ornaments along with them, some musical instruments, and some weapons and animals also. Even some serving men and women were buried with with the rulers in these pyramids. Please like this video, subscribe for the channel, and comment. This motivates us to make more and more better videos. Thank you all for joining.